Hello, everyone. We're going to give it just a moment just to make sure everybody is logged in. I know we're just at the 2 o'clock mark, so let's just give it maybe one more second or minute. All right, great. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Exhibitor 101 webinar today. We know how valuable your time is, so we really appreciate you joining us today. This is an overview about High Point Market for new exhibitors, as well as our current exhibitors who would like a quick refresher course. So believe it or not, we are officially 38 days away from the start of spring market. So during our time together, we're going to walk through a lot of information and resources that will hopefully help you learn a little bit more about what we offer and how to have a successful market. My name is Stephanie Jonas, and I'm the Director of Exhibitor and Sponsor Engagement with High Point Market Authority. I would also like to thank my team members who have joined me today. On camera is Jessica Nguyen, our Director of Guest Experience. And behind the scenes is Lindsay Martin, our Senior Manager of Marketing Communications. Before we start today, just a few housekeeping items. There will be a Q&A at the end, so please hold all your questions until we get through the content, as we will hopefully answer most of your questions. If we don't cover any of your questions as we go through the information, just be sure to drop your questions into the Q&A box, and we'll be answering those live or cover any questions at the end that haven't yet been answered. But first, we have just a couple of polling questions that Lindsay's going to share with you, just so we can get a better understanding of who's joining us today. Thanks, Lindsay. So basically, we would just like to know who's been to High Point Market before, if this is your first time exhibiting, if you are a current exhibitor, or you've been here before, but you've decided to come back. And then secondly, we would just like to know if anybody has actually updated their exhibitor profile already, as this is going to be one of the most beneficial resources available to you. We'll be talking about this later in our session. So give everybody just a moment as they answer those. Great. All right. Well, good. Well, that gives us a good understanding. So we have a lot of first timers, so welcome, and a few current exhibitors, so great. And look at how many of you have already updated your exhibitor profile. So that's awesome. So that's great news. So, but we'll be covering over the exhibitor profile a little bit later. So if you have any other questions, again, just drop those into the Q&A box. All right, thanks everyone. So with that, let's get started. So what is market? So High Point Market has been around for over 115 years. And as the world's largest home furnishings trade show, we are home to some 2,000 exhibitors in over 180 plus buildings that span across about 13 city blocks. So yes, we are literally the size of a small downtown. We are held every April and October, and we are open to the trade only. Our attendees are interior designers, retail buyers, media, and other industry professionals from around the globe. And about 60% of our buyers are interior designers. This has been a pretty big shift for us over the last few years. And then approximately 10% of our guests are international. And we can move on. The High Point Authority is a nonprofit organization that is responsible for the oversight, execution, and promotion of High Point Market. So we have a full-time staff of 15 members. We are located here at the radio building. What does that mean? Our staff specialize in attracting buyers to market through media, partnerships, and advertising. We qualify buyers to ensure that you're having a very productive meeting and that you're getting the right people in your showrooms. We also manage on-site logistics such as transportation, wayfinding, trash collection, our information booths, staffing, and more. Jessica's going to talk about that a little bit later as well. We are also specializing in providing resources for our guests as they prepare for market, which includes our market app, which hopefully you've downloaded by now. If not, we'll talk about that as well. Our printed guides, our maps, and our event schedules. And we also support our building owners and exhibitors to help them make the most of market. And if you aren't following us on social, this is a great resource to learn about ongoing updates around market. With over 300,000 followers, our audience is highly engaged with us via social. This is a great way to connect with buyers. And if you post anything on your social channels, be sure to tag us as well. And here's just a list of some of the social channels that we have that you can follow us. So by now, as an active exhibitor, you should have an exhibitor profile set up. This is the most important tool available to you. As market guests use our website and app to plan their agendas, your exhibitor profile is a great way to get their attention. We actually did a survey on our market app and found that 9 out of 10 favorited exhibitors have completed profiles. So make sure that yours is updated. To access your profile, you can visit exhibitor.highpointmarket.org, exhibitor profile, and it will walk you through how it works. You can also access it via the portal, via the exhibitor services tab on our website. And then once you've reached the login screen, you can enter your username and password that was provided to you from the High Point Market Authority. And if you happen to have forgotten your login or lost it, you can actually contact Patty Russo, who is our Director of Registration and Support Services. And we have her contact information here. It's just Patty at highpointmarket.org, and she'll be happy to help you. So once you're logged into the portal, your dashboard is displayed. So the dashboard allows you to upload as many details as possible. This includes any contact information, your buyer categories, at market events, product images, and more. It's really important to update your exhibitor profile to ensure that your company information appears correctly in the exhibitor directory and in the printed market guides. And here is just an overview of what you will see when you go into your profile. You can actually also view your profile information live in the exhibitor directory on the website. But here, this is again, just kind of an overview of those tabs you're going to see. And it's important that you fill out as much information as possible for each of these tabs. So your company description. This is your opportunity to really talk about your company brand, the products that you create, and the services that you provide, as well as a profile image that's also displayed in the exhibitor directory. So as I mentioned earlier, as these buyers are going through and planning out their agendas, The exhibitor profile pages that are in the exhibitor directory on our website are the most viewed pages leading up to and during market. So very, very important to get these pages updated. So one of the options you have is to upload press kit information. The High Point Market Authority works with several media outlets and provides them with a media link lounge in the High Point Theater. It's important to include High Point press releases in your press kit into your profile so they can easily access the information. We do offer a free press kit builder. So if you need help with that, that is available in your profile. And you can also add up to 5 High Point press releases to your press kit. And then we have some dates here on when those are actually due. So April 23rd is the deadline to make sure that that's included. Another key component to your exhibitor profile is the event listings. These could be panel discussions, workshops, meet and greets, book signings, ribbon cuttings, entertainment, all the way to serving muffins and mimosas. Any type of event that is going to help drive traffic to your showroom, you want to make sure that you include that into your profile. Once your event is uploaded and approved by our team, it will populate in the online events calendar and in the official High Point Market app. So you get as much exposure as possible once you upload that into the calendar. And here's just an example of what the events calendar looks like on our website. Buyers can actually filter through. They can filter by date, by type, and by neighborhood. The What's New section, this is for new products and any showroom news. All images that you post here will be presented on the High Point Market New Products Pick page, added to your profile, and shared with style spotters and media partners. So our style spotters, if you're not familiar with them, these are designers that we work with. They go around market. We do not dictate where they go. They're looking for the hottest trends, new products, things that just grab their attention. But they check this page out. A lot of the buyers will also take a look at this page too to see what new products are being launched. As far as the product and showroom news, you can announce your latest collections, any designer collaborations, as well as grand openings or expansions that you have. News will be posted in the High Point Market What's New section and then shared with our media partners as well in advance of market. Another great resource for you is our resources page. That's also found in the exhibitor services section of the website. As an exhibitor, you have a wealth of resources available to you. You can download our logo to include in your promotional materials. You can also download several quick tips and tools that can help serve as a checklist to ensure your showroom success. We also offer emergency and fire safety materials. You may also want to check with your building owner or leasing agent to see if they have any specific information about your building. And in preparing for market, if you need any temporary help, we've provided information regarding student help from a local university here, High Point University. A lot of the exhibitors will access them for help. And here's a link below here that actually will get you that information. Marketing. So now that you're an exhibitor, how do you increase your brand presence? High Point Market Authority offers an unmatched opportunity to put your brand in front of the world's largest gathering of buyers and media. You may want to find out what your building owner is doing to promote their tenants. As many of them, you may have already received some kind of promotional package when you signed on to be an exhibitor in their building. But ultimately, though, it is up to you to drive traffic into your showroom. However, to help us assist our exhibitors in driving that traffic and that awareness, we do offer a number of free marketing tools as well as a variety of paid sponsorships. And you can view any of those, that full listing on our website. It's just exhibitor.highpointmarket.org, and you can click on the sponsorship and partners page. So hopefully some of you were able to attend the lead retrieval webinar that was hosted last week. If not, we'll go over a little bit of it here. But once you've attracted buyers into your showroom, you're going to want to make the most of that to make sure that you collect their information. Our lead retrieval system provides you with easy access to their contact and demographic information. If you place an order, you will also receive the pre- and post-show buyers list. Plus, we also, for the attendees, we send them a list of all the places in which they were scanned so they know which showrooms they attended. Again, this is just a great way to capture leads. And if you do have any additional questions about the lead retrieval system or where to pick up the lead retrieval or drop it off, you can actually contact the lead retrieval company, which is called Event Crowd, that we partner with. And we've got our telephone number, which is available in that link below. There will also be, if anybody wants to catch that webinar, you can contact us, just send us your email address, drop that in the Q&A, and we'll be happy to send that to you. So market publications. So there are 3 guides that you're going to want to take advantage of. The preview guide, the market resource guide, and our pocket guide. They include all showrooms and their locations, as well as any events. So again, really important to make sure you get those events uploaded into your profile. And then going back to the exhibitor profile for a second, make sure you update the print directory tab and that the information is correct, as this is where the content is pulled from for these publications. So make sure that your location is accurate, and if you do have any event listings, that those dates and that information is also correct. And if you are interested in placing any ads or you have questions about the information that's in there, you can actually contact Karen Wood. She is with a company called And More, and she will be more than happy to help you. So moving on to education and entertainment. We know that coming to market is an investment for both you, the exhibitor, as well as the buyers. So we want to ensure we are offering a variety of activities to create a great experience. On Saturday and Sundays, we feature keynote sessions in the High Point Theater, which is next to the transportation terminal. These keynotes offer insightful thought leadership from industry experts. And as you can see here, we have a really great lineup this spring. This is our Saturday keynote. We have several speakers. And then on Sunday, we're very excited to have Damon John and Patty Carpenter and Jay Anamice, who's with Future Snoops. So I know exhibitors don't get a lot of time to get out of their showrooms, but if you happen to have time and want to sneak away for a great keynote, make sure that you come and join us. Another great venue that we offer is The Point. This is an on-the-street temporary structure that we build out each market. It's on the corner of Commerce Avenue and Wren, just right across from the transportation terminal. It's open daily from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., Friday through Tuesday. There are market advisors available there to ensure that our buyers are getting where they need to be. And we also host daily panel discussions every day at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m., as well as evening socials. And after a long day of meetings and shopping, we host evening concerts at Center Stage. This is between the transportation terminal and Showplace. This is free to all market guests who have a valid market pass. This year, we are excited to announce that we are featuring Sister Sledge on Saturday evening. And Gabby Barrett, who's a country music artist, she'll be here on Sunday evening. So the gates open at 6:30. We offer free food and free beverages. So hopefully by the time you're done in your showroom, you'll have time to come down and enjoy some free food and some great music. So with that, I know I've covered a lot, but I'm going to hand this over to Jessica Wynn, our Director of Guest Services, and she's going to talk with you about all things logistical. So everything, make sure that it's all moving smoothly and guests are having a great experience. So thanks, Jess.
Thank you, Stephanie. So we're going to start with travel planning. Being the world's largest home furnishings trade show, we attract thousands and thousands of buyers, exhibitors, contractors alike. So travel planning is really, really important. If you have not done so yet, I strongly encourage you to get your hotels, flights, etc. booked, as things regionally can really fill up very quickly. So we're going to go over several different options for you now. Our first option, and probably the easiest for everybody, is TravelQuest. So TravelQuest is our official High Point Market concierge service. They can book your hotels, reserve shuttles for you, restaurant reservations, your flights, everything. It's really a one-stop shop for travel. It is for a nominal fee. It's only a small fee to book your airfare through TravelQuest. And actually, if you stay for 3 nights or more, they will waive that fee. And so essentially for free, you are getting exceptional customer service and really someone in your corner to troubleshoot should you need to. You're busy planning a market, you're busy planning a showroom layout, you have things to do. And so if there are issues with your hotel, your flights, etc., TravelQuest is in your corner to help you take care of those things. So you can really focus on getting here and having a successful market. A second option, if maybe a hotel is not right for you or your team, are private home rentals. High Point locals have been renting their homes out to buyers and exhibitors and market guests alike before Airbnb was Airbnb. So these two private home rental associations you see right here are two that we endorse on our website. So you can find this information in the Plan Your Trip section of our website. But Amanda and Patty Holtzman and High Point Furniture Market Services do a great job of keeping a great inventory of local homes. So if you and your team need a common space, you're staying here for 2 weeks, this can be a great option. As many people locally rent their homes out, inventory still can be really limited just because the demand is high. So again, time is of the essence here. If you don't have a relationship with either of these two firms, we strongly encourage you reaching out to do so now. Or you might want to DIY. So you're not interested in TravelQuest helping you, you're not interested in renting a home. We do have an online booking tool. So if you go to the hotel section of our website, you'll see our online booking tool. And when you click on that, you're going to see a wide variety of options of hotels that are all serviced by our free hotel shuttle service. So that's something that we're going to get into a little bit later, but along with that, also still comes TravelQuest customer service. So we partnered with TravelQuest on this booking tool. So when you make a reservation, you still get a TravelQuest confirmation code. And if you do have issues with your hotel or need some help, assistance later, you still have TravelQuest as that resource. So this is kind of a way for you to do it on your own, but still have some great customer service if you need it down the road. Airport shuttles. So you've booked your hotel, you've booked your flight. Now, how are you going to get from the airport to High Point Market? So we actually provide free shuttle service for that as well. We service 3 regional airports in the Triad area with our free airport shuttle service. So Greensboro, that's going to be the closest city to High Point. It's about 30 minutes away from High Point. And so that shuttle does not require a reservation at all. And it leaves from the transportation terminal to and from that airport every hour on the hour. Hours of operations are listed there and can be found on our website. Raleigh and Charlotte are a little farther. They can be an hour and a half to a little bit more depending on the traffic. So while those shuttles are still completely free to you, we do require reservations for those particular two shuttles. So you can make those shuttle reservations on our website. Again, that plan your trip section of the website has the answers to so many questions. I strongly suggest you peruse it. But when you go to the shuttle reservation tab, you're going to see this. It has the schedule. So exactly when shuttles are departing High Point, when they're departing the various airports. You're going to fill out all the fields, flight number even, so we know if your flight is delayed or not. And it's also going to ask you how many companions you're making a reservation for. So this is really crucial for us because these airports are so far away. We really need to make sure that we're sending the right amount of equipment. So we're getting everybody to and from the airport and on schedule. And so these reservations are crucial. You can make these reservations on our website up to 7 p.m. the day before the shuttle leaves. If you need to make a reservation after 7 p.m. the night before or the same day, you're going to call 336-887-RIDE. That is our transportation command center. That phone number can be found in all of the market publications on our website, etc. And you're just going to make a reservation with somebody over the phone. So it's really, really easy, great service, and again, completely free. So I strongly suggest taking advantage of it. On-site resources. So Stephanie kind of lightly touched on the fact that we are 180 buildings, 13 city blocks. So we're the size of a downtown, the world's largest home furnishings market. And so that comes with a lot of different on-site resources. And while a lot of the things I'm talking about, we've designed with the buyer in mind. Number one, they're not limited to buyers. You're certainly allowed to take advantage of them. And it can help for you to know about these resources so you can help a buyer in your showroom. So the hotel shuttles, you definitely want to take a look at our hotel shuttle schedule that is on the High Point Market website. And again, that plan your trip section is crucial. So we service nearly 100 regional hotels in High Point, Greensboro, Winston, Kernersville, and the surrounding area. So again, huge amount of hotel inventory. We utilize as much of it as we can to accommodate everybody. This shuttle leaves to and from the transportation terminal. And we're kind of going to go over that a little bit when we go over a lay of the land here shortly. But there are 3 runs every single morning and 3 runs to get you back to your hotel every evening. So I strongly suggest looking at that schedule to see if maybe it meets you and your staff's needs. If not, you can certainly rent a car or Uber, etc. But if this can fit into your schedule, it really, it's a great free resource. Park and ride. Maybe you drove in or you did opt in into renting a car, or you have staff in your showroom that are maybe you hired locally, etc. You need to find a place for them to park to get them to your space. We have our park and ride lot. So at 921 East Chester Drive, this is the GPS address. We operate a park and ride location that has more than enough spots that we could ever need for High Point Market. This opens Thursday, April 24th, which is when registration opens. And so definitely if you have temp staff, etc., this is a great place for them to park. They take the shuttle in and it drops them off in the transportation terminal. From there, they would make their way to your showroom, wherever that may be. If you are planning to use this shuttle or you have temp staff that are using it, I would allow about 30 minutes for the shuttle to get you from parking to the shuttle getting you where you need to be. If the one shuttle just left, it could be about 10 minutes before another one comes up. It has to drive to Market. And then once you get off the shuttle, you then have to find your way to that showroom. So I would allow about 13 minutes buffer. You'll also see that 336-887 ride number in the bottom there. That's our transportation command center, like I mentioned before. But for accessible parking, if you have anybody that has any accessibility needs, you can park at this park and ride lot and call that number, and a handicap accessible vehicle will be dispatched to pick you up. Downtown shuttle system. So High Point, fun fact, High Point Market Authority actually runs the second largest transportation system in the state of North Carolina, second only to Charlotte. And so part of that system are all the shuttles I've talked about so far, but also our downtown transit system. So this operates just like a city transit would. We have our red line and our green line. The red line, as pictured, runs north of the downtown, and the green line runs south of the downtown. And so you can see the stops numbered there. There are 29 stops throughout the downtown, and this is what buyers are using to get to and from your showrooms. So if you have a showroom, if you're a buyer and you're at shuttle stop 5 and your next appointment is shuttle stop 20, that is a long walk. So you're going to want to use this transit system. But just like the rest of our transportation, none of it is limited to buyers only. So, and none of it you need a pass to be able to ride either. So if you or staff need to use this for, your transportation needs, feel free to use it. It's also nice to familiarize yourself with which shuttle stop you're at. Some exhibitors choose to promote that in their promotional materials when they're reaching out to buyers. So you can look that up on your exhibitor profile. It tells you. So it's something good to be aware of. Our Go Anywhere shuttle. So the Go Anywhere shuttle is for everything that's in between, anything that's not covered by the downtown showroom shuttle, hotels, or airport. So if you needed to go to Walgreens, if you needed to go to a local restaurant, somewhere that's within a 6-mile radius of the transportation terminal, this shuttle would take you there as long as it's not already serviced by an existing shuttle. So that means this shuttle will not take you to a hotel. The shuttle will not take you to an airport. So, keep that in mind, but very great, convenient service. Again, not limited to any particular pass type. You can get one several different ways. So if you're in a showroom that's in very close proximity to the transportation terminal, you can go to A1 within the terminal and get one reserved for you. If you are somewhere within close proximity of shuttle stop 14, and again, we'll go over a map in just a second, there is a Go Anywhere shuttle dispatch. There's a white tent on Commerce Avenue there where you can go to get one as well. Or you can call 336-887-RIDE. If you're calling for a buyer, just make sure that whoever's cell phone number is actually getting the shuttle is what's tied to the reservation. Because what's going to happen is they're going to take the cell phone number and they're going to use that cell phone number to communicate with you. So they're going to text you when they're 1 minute out, when they're on their way, when they're still looking for you and you're not outside yet. So you're going to want to make sure that you use the right cell phone number. If you are interested, we do actually have a Go Anywhere reception tool that exhibitors can use at their front desk. If you're in close proximity to that transportation terminal or shuttle stop 14, we will not give you the reception tool just because the dispatch area is right next to your showroom. But there are a ton of exhibitors that are not in close proximity to those two spots that use our reception tool so that their lobbies can, so whoever their person is sitting at their front desk can make reservations and reserve shuttles for buyers. So if you're interested in that, learning more, feel free to reach out to our office and we can answer those questions. The Market District. So I mentioned that we were going to go over a map. If you are new to High Point Market, which I saw through the poll that a lot of you are, you might not have known how large it is, that it's 13 city blocks, 180 buildings. And so we're just going to go over a brief lay of the land. Stephanie is right. Sometimes you guys do not make it out of your showrooms. And so you might not know where things are. And so we're going to just kind of briefly go over that real quick. You'll notice that the market map is color coded. You heard Stephanie mention neighborhoods earlier. So we actually split the market district up into 7 different neighborhoods. And because we did this because market is so large that sometimes, especially for a new buyer, it can be a little overwhelming. And the market neighborhoods is really a way to just chunk it up geographically, so that they can better plan and utilize their time. So if I'm at a showroom in the Hamilton Wren North neighborhood, I just left an appointment, and I have 2 hours before my next appointment and I want to explore. I can use the website or our High Point Market app to filter exhibitors by neighborhood. So I can see which exhibitors I'm interested in that are within walking distance. I can filter food by neighborhood, and I can filter events by neighborhood. And so this is just a way to see what's around me, and digest market in more navigatable chunks. So, it's worth knowing what neighborhood your showroom technically is in. Some exhibitors choose to promote that to buyers. If you're interested in doing that, you can certainly reach out to our office, to find out what color you're in, or any kind of other branding guidelines that might be associated with that. But it's just, good information to know. You're gonna see a lot of different food icons around on the map. So if you go to our High Point Market food page, also on the market map that you'll get delivered to your showroom, there's gonna be a QR code for food as well. This QR code leads you to those dining options, so you can see what they are, the menus, if there's dietary restriction options near you, etc. So you got the food and knife there. Market medical unit. The market medical unit is right outside that transportation terminal. And actually, Lindsay, if you'll circle the terminal for me, first, yes, so that's a transportation terminal. That's where all those shuttles go in and out of every single market. So this is kind of the center. So people get dropped off here and then dispersed to all these buildings from there. So shuttle stop 1 is there. The red and green line run out of there. And then that market medical unit is right there to the left. This is available to any attendee, exhibitor, what have you. It is for minor medical emergencies. So if you or your staff have a headache, if you're experiencing allergies, they write prescriptions out of there. So if you end up needing to see a doctor, they can direct you to an urgent care, things like that. If you are experiencing a real emergency in your showroom, please dial 911. We have EMS, fire, and bike team on site. They can quickly get to any showroom and help with any resources that they may need. They really have that stuff down to a science, and we put in a lot of planning into that. So please don't hesitate to call 911 if you feel like you need to. But for anything lesser than that, Market Medical is a great free resource to you and your team. We got our scooter rentals. So right outside, in the transportation terminal, right outside the High Point Theater, if you or any staff have any mobility issues, and you need to rent a scooter for the duration of market, you can do so in advance on our website. But if you needed to pick it up at the counter, or, have an on-site issue that you need to handle, you can do so at that counter. The High Point Theater, which I mentioned, the scooter counter is right outside, is where those events Stephanie mentioned, our keynotes are. It's where our International Buyer Center and our Media Link Center is. So you'll see through a lot of different promotional materials that we promote the High Point Theater as a location. That's where that is. If you get lead retrieval, the lead retrieval office is actually also in the High Point Theater. So that's a great spot to know where that is. Stephanie also mentioned Center Stage, where our concerts take place. That is in between Showplace and the transportation terminal. It is a parking lot that we magically turn into a concert venue. So if you're interested in attending those concerts, it is not closed to just buyers. Exhibitors can partake too, as Stephanie mentioned. You do have to have a valid market pass in order to enter. So if you didn't print one, or you left it in your showroom, just make sure you stop at a registration desk on your way to the concert and you'll be able to get in. Registration locations. So you'll notice the little badge icons all over the map. We have 13 different registration locations. With a show this size, it's hard to force people to start in one particular space or another. And so we have a plethora of options. So if you're near a registration desk, that's good to know. So if you or your team need a pass, but if you or any buyers or anything need any help with that, it's also a great resource to know about. And then we'll talk about the point, which is also right outside the transportation terminal. It's in between Wren Street and Main Street. Yes, right there. Thank you, Lindsay. The point, again, not close to any particular pass type. Exhibitors are welcome. We really push new buyers to the point. We're going to go over information booths in just a second, but those can be very fast paced. And sometimes a buyer might need more assistance than just pointing one direction or another. And so the point is a great spot where we have trained market advisors to sit down with them, unfold this map, talk about what they're looking for, show them how to use our app, and make sure they understand how to navigate their trip. So if you have a new buyer that is just lost beyond all reason in your showroom, send them to the point. We have trained staff. Shuttle stop one, it's right outside the transportation terminal. If we send them to the point in the beginning of their trip, they're going to have a better market overall and they're going to come back next time. So, and then different information booths. You'll see the little eyes and the charging dots all around the map. These are our High Point Market Authority information booths. And so when Lindsay goes to the next slide, you'll see the addresses for those. Information booths are, there's a lot over the course of market, right? Every building or showroom may have an information booth in it. They have a front desk that knows about that particular building, but not all of those people are trained on market overall. So these are the information booth locations that the High Point Market Authority staffs. These people are trained on overall market experience. And so they may know a lot more about outside the showrooms or buildings. And so if you have if you or your staff have any questions, or a buyer needs more general market help, these information booths are a great resource to know about. So, know if there's one near your showroom. If not, it's not a big deal. But at each information booth, there are also charging stations, charging packs that anybody can take with them and return at the end of the day for free. So that's also a great resource to know about. If you're not close to an info booth, or maybe you don't have time to run to an info booth, our Carolina chatbot could be a good option for you. So that's the phone number there. There'll also be a QR code in the map and transportation guide that you would find in your lobby. But you can text Carolina any questions you might have about market, and she will answer them. She does give you the links to look up the answers. So if I were a buyer and I said, where is blank exhibitor, she would recognize the exhibitor name and send you a link to the exhibitor listing so you can look it up. If you type the word shuttle, she's going to send you a link to all the shuttle listings so you can look up that information and find the answer. So her answers are not always super direct and to the point, but she kind of teaches you how to look things up, and can be great in a pinch if you're just trying to get a quick question answered. The High Point Market app. So Stephanie went over the profile. Stephanie talked about how important the profile was and how 9 out of 10 most liked exhibitors have really filled out beautiful profiles. Well, the High Point Market app is how a buyer would have all that information that's on our website in their hand on site. And so the better your profile looks, the better you're going to look on our High Point Market app. Our hypermarket app actually has, on average, 1 million screen views per market cycle. And I say per market cycle because that's not all just on site. So what we're finding is a lot of buyers are using this app year round in order to look up exhibitors, save exhibitors. If you make a My Market account, which is separate from your login for registration, separate from your exhibitor profile login. If you make a My Market account with any email you want, anyone can make one. This app is not limited to buyers only. I know a lot of staff use it actually in the buildings to find out where different exhibitors are. And you can do all this research through the categories, save the exhibitors you want to go to during market to your plan, save the different events you want to go to your plan, and then you open up your app, you log in, and it's all right there. You can navigate to different exhibitors. So if I have an appointment at one exhibitor, I got 30 minutes to make it to the next one. I can click the navigate button and it will open my Google Maps app and show me walking directions to the next showroom. So this is really a crucial tool. People are browsing it during market. I think a lot of buyers leave time to explore. And so they're using our filters and seeing what profiles stand out to them. So that's why even a profile picture can make you stand out so much more on this app than people without any information on it. So please log in, update your profile. We also have the news feature, a news feed feature that's new the last couple of markets. And so Stephanie talked about the what's new section, putting in like new product launches or showroom expansions, etc. If you are new to market, well, then your showroom is new, and that's showroom news. So you can put that in your what's new section, and a buyer can scroll through the news feed and see what's going on, like things, save it to their plan, and actually make a visit. So very, very crucial to download the High Point Market app. I strongly suggest you download it just to see what your profile looks like in the app, and beef it up however you may see fit. So. Showroom logistics. So 180 buildings, 13 city blocks. And the High Point Market Authority does not own any of those buildings. So we're a very unique situation for sure. And we understand that that can be overwhelming and kind of confusing compared to other trade shows. So if you take nothing away from this webinar, know that we will help you if you just reach out to us and ask questions. So there's two different kinds of buildings at High Point Market. There's standalone buildings or single tenant buildings. And this is when one exhibitor either owns the entire building and they're the only person that shows there, or they lease the entire building and they're the only exhibitor that shows there. Then we also have multi-tenant buildings. So multi-tenant buildings, which a lot of you may be in, because that is probably the most common, is when a building has multiple exhibitors within it that all report to some kind of landlord, building manager, tenant relations manager, what have you. So for setup, deliveries, trash, staffing needs, if you are in a multi-tenant building, you should reach out to your contact. So that could be your building owner, that could be your leasing agent, that could be your tenant relations manager. It varies depending on what building you're in. But whoever your contact is for your showroom, your building, reach out to them first. Because a lot of times they will share welcome packets with you that list preferred vendors and how the docs work and all of that stuff. They will have setup rules. They have trash collection already scheduled. So reach out to them first to see what resources are already available to you or policies the building already has in place. If you need things outside of that, you can certainly reach out to our office to talk about what those needs may be. We have exhibitors all the time reach out needing very specific kinds of vendors and wondering whether we have any leads or not. We are happy to help you search for things like that. Just start with that building owner first. If you're in a standalone building and you maybe are new this market, or you have a landlord that's maybe not as involved. They own the building, they lease it, but it's kind of up to you to set up all your logistics. Reach out to us 336-869-1000. A market advisor, depending on what your needs are, knows how to direct your call. We can help with recommending vendors for setup. We can help with setting up trash pickup with the city of High Point. If you're having issues with trash or any kind of other property issues and you really just don't know where to go, we are the liaison between you and the city of High Point. So if you need anything at all, if you have a new building or showroom and you want to know what the fire safety plan is, you don't have one and you don't even know how to make one, reach out to us and we'll set you up with the High Point Fire Department so someone can come out and do those things for you. So it really depends on the building and the situation you're in. If you're still, after all of that, not sure what to do next, reach out, let us know where you are and what you're looking to do, and we'll definitely point you in the right direction. Q&A. So we're going to bring Stephanie back on and see if anybody has any questions to drop in the chat. And so I didn't get any question. I don't see any pending or anything, but we can give you guys a few minutes to throw anything in if you'd like. We're
Yeah.
here.
I know we covered a lot of information today in a short amount of time. So being the world's largest trade show, I know it's a lot to take in. And for your first trade show, again, I know it's a lot. So if you don't have any questions right now, you want to go back and you want to think about it, you are more than welcome to reach out to us. Here's our phone numbers. Our main line is 336-869-1000. And then I've also included our contact information, my direct telephone number, Jessica's telephone number, and Lindsay's telephone number. Lindsay, you can reach out to her if you have any media questions. And then I've also included Patty Russo's contact information. Patty is the person that is our Director of Registration and Support Services. She can also help you with any questions you have about your profile. Again, if you've lost or if you've forgotten your login information to get into your profile, Patty would be the person to help you retrieve that information.
We do have one question. It says, when should we be receiving passes? So that's a great question. It kind of depends. So sometimes a market exhibitor might sign a lease, and Stephanie, feel free to jump in if I'm butchering this at all. But a market exhibitor might sign a lease with a building owner, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you've registered, you or your team, for market. So if you've only signed a lease and you did nothing else, make sure that you are actually registered. And then when you receive your pass kind of depends on what building you're in. So I know if you're in an and more property, they distribute those passes for you. Is that correct, Stephanie?
That is correct.
If you are not an and more exhibitor and you're in a different building, those passes get mailed to you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we have begun the mailing process and we're getting through those now. So you would receive your pass sometime before market. Let's say you don't receive your pass. Something happened, it got lost in the mail, etc. You know you're registered. You can always stop at one of those registration desks to have one printed for you. There's no additional cost to get a pass reprinted. So if you know, some people leave their pass on the bus or in their blazer from yesterday. You can always stop at a registration desk to get that reprinted.
Yeah, and if you did register, you may also want to talk to the primary contact that's listed for your showroom. Because a lot of times, a lot of those passes will be mailed to that primary contact person. And again, you can also contact Patty, or you can call our main line, and any of our market advisors will be happy to help you.
Well, good question. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't see any other questions at this time. Oh, we do. How do we get the lead app webinar? So if you want to send us your email address, then we will be happy to email that link to you. How do we contact regarding student help? So if you go to our website, highpointmarket.org, and up at the top, there's a tab that says Exhibitor Services. And in that Exhibitor Services tab, if you go all the way to the right, it says Resources. And under Resources, down at the very bottom, it says Student Help. And there is where you'll be able to get the information that will direct you directly to High Point University.
They're great to work with.
Yes.
They've been doing this for a long time, so there's like an interest form and everything. But if you have any issues with that at all, just let us know and we can give you like a contact information for a specific person. But they have a whole office that does just that. So
yeah. Okay. Well, for future planning, hopefully after the spring, you decide to come back this fall. Here are the upcoming market dates through 2027. So our fall October market is going to be the 25th through the 29th. So gonna hang out here. If there's no more questions, again, feel free to reach out to any of us. We are very happy to help you. And walk you through any questions you may have. Otherwise, again, thank you all so much for joining us today. We know how busy you are, especially 38 days away from market.
Ooh.
That's right. So thanks again, and we'll see you at market. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.